never managed to control public expenditures. We face the same crisis looming in Washington, D.C. And I am determined that that will not happen on our watch. So that's my fundamental philosophy about the internal threats that face us. I'll mention just quickly, because of course it is especially relevant in Orange County. I do also worry about the defense of this great land. I think that we need to devote resources very aggressively, if you will, toward defending our country against terror. I do not believe in the war on our intelligence services that has been pursued by Attorney General Holder and our Congress. I'm not sure why they feel that they must do the things they are doing, but I certainly feel that the trial of Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, for example, should be by a military tribunal. It should not be held in New York City. It should not be held in Orange County. It should be held at Guantanamo. We should not allow those precious pieces of evidence to fall into the hands of those who wish harm to the United States and its citizens. So one of my crucial roles would also be to strengthen the defenses of this great country. And that's going to be a crucial task going forward as well. And I'm happy to talk about more with you. Again, I praise you for your philosophy. I share it, and I seek to promote it wherever I can throughout this campaign. And after November, I hope with your help and support to do so in Washington as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Hayward. That's great. Again, on behalf of As a Mom, I'm going to kick off this first question. And we would like to ask you what is most important in your life that drives you and causes you to make the majority of your decisions.
Mm-hmm. On a personal level, I think it is staying true to the values, the faith, and the honesty and integrity that were instilled in me by my parents, whom I cherish, and I've always sought to honor them in everything I do. And I think some people would call that an old-fashioned value. It really harkens back to the Ten Commandments, but I've always taken it very much to heart, and it's been a wonderful guide in my life. As an American, my guide is my passionate belief in American exceptionalism and in the power of this Constitution, the appreciation of American history that, again, thanks to my parents, was instilled in me. We were talking briefly earlier about Glenn Beck, who has spoken eloquently about our history and what it means for us today and how we must cherish as precious and extraordinary the legacy that we have of freedom and of responsibility. That I think that would be the guiding value as a citizen, that belief in American exceptionalism, that belief in the Constitution, and that sense of urgency that we have to act now, today, to protect it and promote it, would be my guide.
That's great. I'm going to turn it over to Michelle now, and she's going to choose people. Anybody want to ask questions? Nobody?
What would you do or suggest for jobs in Orange County to get people working?
Absolutely. That's the crucial question. Perhaps that is the greatest single concern I think that a federal legislator could have. The simple answer is we need to get government out of our way. We need to keep the federal government's reach into your pockets to a minimum. There are certain aspects of government for which we must pay. Those that are constitutionally defined come primarily to mind. We need to pay for our national defense. That's really what the federal government is primarily about, national defense and protection of our liberties so that we as citizens can commerce can pursue our lives in security and in freedom. So massive entitlement programs, redistribution, confiscatory taxation, the idea that Washington has that they can throw one more program on because it sounds good and somehow make the decisions for the entire country, make the decisions for Orange County, is wrong. We saw what happened. I think the health care debate in the Senate really brought it to the fore when we saw the dealing that went on. The way the bill that the Senate approved, that the Senate passed, would cost New York State $1 billion in unfunded mandates. That burden would fall on Orange County and on every other county, of course, in New York State, which means, of course, it falls on every taxpayer because that raises our property taxes beyond the unconscionable level at which they already are set. And why did that happen? Because Harry Reid and his colleagues in the Senate thought that they had to get special deals too, as we know, Louisiana, Nebraska, Connecticut, Vermont. You know, anybody who needed to be bought, well, just throw a few more taxes on the fire. What difference does it make? The federal government has to treat your money as if it's your money. And if we allow our citizens to keep more of what they earn, how can we do that? We can make permanent the 2001 and 2003 tax cuts. We can reduce the capital gains tax. We can eliminate the estate tax. If we do those things, then we can free capital to stay in this district so that people can become consumers again, so that people can invest in businesses, so that those local businesses will be patronized and will be able to grow and hire more of our local citizens. It's a virtuous circle if we can get it going. But when the federal government takes that money, it loses energy. We're a donor district. We send out $1.30 to the federal government for every dollar we get back. And that's a formula for disaster. So the first thing I would do is stop the spending, cut your taxes, and let the resources stay there.
Was your question answered sufficiently? Anybody else?
Hi, my name is Kathy. I live here in Orange County, and I am very pleased that a politician or someone who wishes to be a politician from my area finally came up to Orange County and got to meet someone. I am also an owner of a small business, and I am a mom of 3 soldiers, and so I would thank them. And I would like, so this is very much who many of us are in this room. Some people think Orange County is kind of like country bumpkin and you just brush them off. The fact that you can really appreciate that. My question is that in the State of the Union address, President Obama talked about increasing nuclear power, and there is a nuclear power plant in your district. What would your interest be in that?
I favor the development of nuclear power resources. I think it should be done prudently, and I think it can be done prudently. Indian Point is indeed in the district, Kathy. And by the way, I said it quietly, but thank you for your service as a mother and for your sons and daughters, or 3 sons, is that?
No, it's 1 daughter.
And 1 daughter, 3 children, for their service to our country. You keep us free. And thank you. Before I forget, it is a pleasure to come to Orange County, and I was mentioning before, this is like home to me. I grew up in Northwest Indiana, and of all of our districts, and it's a beautiful district, and I love every part of it, but this is like home to me. And so it's a great pleasure to come. And John Hicks, my campaign manager, who's back there, is an Orange County man, who many of you may know. So I'm delighted to be here, and we'll be here many, many times. As I say, it's my second home. But I think nuclear power is a very potent way to provide necessary energy. I think Indian Point is a great resource for us. Over the years, interestingly enough, before I ever thought of public service, I hope to exemplify a public service attitude as opposed to a politics attitude as we go forward. So I'll call it public service, but even before I was interested in public service, I always thought that Indian Point was a place that we needed to have, it needed to keep it safe, and needed to keep it running. And I have had an opportunity